Last time on the Wrestling Wrealm.
At one point, I compared Okada and Seth Rollins to the franchise, but Seth Rollins got hurt, but Okada has just gone through the roof. I mean, there's nothing this guy can't do in the ring. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a guy that at one point was in TNA.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
Breakout stars, we have this women's revolution, and people have, there's always talk when the revolution started. I mean, Miz told Maurice she started the revolution in the mid-2000s. Well, let's just say mid-2010s. I don't necessarily agree, but nonetheless, we had a hashtag, Give Divas a Chance.
Okay.
And that led to something great.
Okay.
I look at, when I think about the when I think about the women breakout stars, don't want to be politically correct, and I think about which one of these ladies are making me watch their matches for their skills.
Okay.
And you know who's just, I mean, we could say Charlotte, Flair, but
obviously.
That's obvious. I look at Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
I did not expect that from her. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, I didn't either.
When she was in NXT, what I saw was, okay, she was a valet. You know, she get in the ring. I saw she was cute. Fine.
Had a little spunk to her.
Yeah, but man, the way she's gone about, when she, like you said, when you come up, and she stayed there, when she threw Becky Lynch through that table at TLC last year to win her first SmackDown Women's Championship. And even when she lost the belt, and then, I mean, when she lost it, then she got it back. Then when she eventually lose it again at Mania, she went right to Raw and boom, right to the top. And, you know, she's a breakout star.
Once again, because what's the key thing? Staying power. You know what I mean? She was able to say, okay, I'm transitioning from one show with a certain group of ladies and superstars, and then go to another show and do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do.
Nope.
You're talking about a different locker room, different setup, different writers, different people, different way of producing television. And she has one of the pieces to me that a lot of some of the ladies are missing when it comes to being a star. We talk about the whole women's revolution thing.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, let's stop treating the women as side acts or sideshows and treat them as regular superstars.
Yeah.
But then what that means is the standard also goes to a different place. We're not just going to give you a wrestling match because you're a lady now. If you're going to treat like a superstar, you need to make some money.
Yeah.
Give these people a reason to watch our show. What is it about what you bring to the table that we're going to say, we're going to focus on you in this match? And one of the things that she's able to do is entertain the fans. She has a character, this feisty, really, really small, spunky fighter. You know what I mean? And she's not going to be, and she's a bully. You know what I mean? And that's something that she can do. She can carry a conversation. I think the worst thing I've ever seen her do was that This Is Your Life with Bailey, the remake, which was actually terrible.
Yeah.
To no fault of her own, maybe, but she can entertain you in the ring, and she can entertain you outside the ring, whether it's her interviews, her facial expressions, how she carries herself as a champion, whether it's how she's dressing, her attire. That's a complete package.
And you know, there's no doubt about it, she's gorgeous, but I tell you, that's not the first thing I think about when I think about Alexa Bliss. That's the difference between, not to say she's better than this woman, but that's the difference I say between Trish Stratus and her. Because when I was first introduced to Trish Stratus, I was introduced to her and she was a vixen.
Yeah.
Because, and then she became a wrestler. Right.
Tess and Albert.
But Alexa Bliss has always been a wrestler. She was a manager to a wrestler, but that they didn't focus on sex appeal with her.
Well, what about when she was Little Miss Bliss in NXT?
Even then, I was still, because she came from being a manager to getting in the ring and getting mixed up. So, but then it was just like...
the other way around?
Huh?
Did she wrestle first, then become a manager?
I thought she was with Blake and Murphy first.
I thought she was wrestling first, then she became... I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing, it was forgettable.
That's why I don't remember. You know, and I love Blake. Was it...
Blake and Murphy? You like that?
I was a huge fan of it first. But then War Machine came out of nowhere after a while, and I was like...
See, I liked the Revival better.
Okay.
When they were in NXT.
Gotcha.
But when she was down there, I mean, she wasn't Charlotte, she wasn't Sasha, she wasn't Bayley, she wasn't Becky Lynch.
It was something different.
Yeah, so
and I didn't think she was going to be able to keep up with them.
And they were dominating down there, right? But look who's on top now. What's Charlotte doing? She's on SmackDown, and not saying she's irrelevant, but she's not a champion. We're talking about champions here. What's Sasha doing? What's Bayley doing? Becky Lynch is the captain for the upcoming Survivor Series.
True.
But it's Alexa Bliss who's been a champion on both shows.
Absolutely.
And of course, Asuka, I mean, the name speaks for itself.
Yeah, the Empress of Tomorrow. Dominance.
Yeah, I could say a little bit and it still wouldn't. I could say a lot and it still would be a little bit about her.
I think she has such a veteran presence that you have to keep her there. Because if you don't, she'll also be able to work with the younger stars and make them very important. Yeah. I think she did a phenomenal job with Emma, and it was the most that anybody had cared about her in a long time, because everybody's like, well, we thought it was going to be a squash match, and everybody's like, no, she put up a fight. And I mean, a lot of people felt like we were going to get a part 2, but unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, I mean, I guess not at this point. At least as of right now. But
I'm glad you said that, because that makes a great transition. You're the transition king. I mean, you're a great video editor. You throw cool transitions in there here.
I try every once in a while. I dabble.
I don't think that's the last we'll see of Emma, because I think she'll be maybe she might become a global superstar. But that's thinking far ahead. But that's what I want to talk about now.
I think they're going to bring her back.
Okay.
I think the fan outcry is something. I don't know. I just feel like something might happen. They say maybe we should look at trying to bring her back.
Hey, well, maybe if not, maybe she'll be out there with the likes of the Will Ospreays, how you say it, Marty Scurlls.
Marty Scurll.
Yeah. Talk about these global superstars, man. These guys who maybe haven't been made a name in New Japan, WWE, or Impact Wrestling, but have made a name for themselves that make you say, I need to get on my Roku, I need to get on my phone, download the Fight app so I can see which one of these promotions, or maybe I need to get the Indie Wrestling channel to find out where can I see these guys.
Yeah, I call them the global superstars of tomorrow, yet they're in front of us today.
Yeah.
Two guys in particular, I'm glad that you brought up Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll. To me, that's Tommy Dreamer and Raven. That's Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Their rivalry in Revolution Pro UK is ridiculous. And I found out about these guys once again through another breakout superstar, which is AJ Styles. At the time, that was a global superstar.
Yep.
I found myself on YouTube, and I'm like, I gotta find this. I'm scratching and calling for AJ Styles footage, because he's killing it on the independent circuit. He's killing it all around the world.
One of your favorites. So that's
one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I was glad. I was nervous about when he left TNA, but I was glad because I saw him more.
Well, I'm hoping I'm not doing that same thing with Daniel Bryan. I'm just
we'll see. It's possible. and I'm looking for stuff, and I find this match on YouTube, and somebody. I wish I knew the YouTuber so I could give him proper credit, but he put a highlight video together of a triple threat match between AJ Styles, a guy named Will Ospreay, and a guy named Marty Scurll, known as the Villain. This guy comes out with this slick back ponytail and these big circle glasses and his fur coat and his umbrella.
You don't trust the dude with a slick back.
Yeah, I mean it's a faded slick back into a ponytail. I'm like, okay, something's up with this brother. So I'm like, okay, this dude's interesting. And then you see this rather pale face, sort of skinny guy. Like, okay, Will Ospreay, and of course the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. The match begins immediately. I'm blown away. I'm seeing Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll do things that it's like, to me, I saw a combination of Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. It wasn't no CM Punk. It was who else? Shawn Michaels. It was just you saw technical wrestling, you saw chain wrestling, you saw a lot of
high flying.
A lot of high flying, but it was like a lot of submission. Like it was everything.
Wow.
And these guys are going toe to toe with AJ Styles in this match, and I'm like, who the heck are these dudes?
You know you have to find that match because people will be asking.
Oh no, it's out there. It's definitely not a secret.
But they gonna want you to link them.
I had to put the link in the description because I'm watching it and I was just like, if this is the highlights, I want to see the whole thing. Like it had me looking for this pay-per-view from Rev Pro UK, and I was just like, hold on. So as I keep doing further research, these guys got a storied history, and these guys are wrestling each other around the world, and I'm just like, these guys have instant chemistry in the ring. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about anytime you put those guys in the ring, it's a big deal.
Right.
Another one is Zack Sabre Jr., who also had a phenomenal match. I think that's who AJ dropped the title to before he left for the Royal Rumble. He's another guy that was also on WWE's Cruiserweight Classic. But Marty Scurll and Will Ospreay, I said these guys are going to be a big deal. I said these guys are going to carry the global superstars of wrestling into the future. And maybe not too long after I saw that match, all of a sudden, Will Ospreay gets picked up by New Japan, get an exclusive contract. Marty Scurll gets an exclusive Ring of Honor contract. And I was like, man, those are big deals. And immediately they got there. Marty Scurll is television champion. You know, all of a sudden becomes a key member of the Bullet Club. I mean, that group needed some much needed braggadocious personality. Like it's certain guys fit in with that label. Adam Page is finding his way because he's a young dude, but Marty Scurll fit right in.
Okay.
Will Ospreay goes to New Japan and just, one of the best of the Super Juniors. Putting on just phenomenal match after match after match. You know, him and King Ricochet and stuff like that. I'm like, man, these dudes are just ridiculous. And I'm like, these guys are going to be ones that we're talking. These guys are going to be the big draws on the independents and in the global scene for the next couple of years until the WWE comes knocking on their door. But to be honest with you, they're probably making a ton of money right now, all over the world, because they can travel to Europe, they can travel to the United Kingdom, they can be all over. They're not just limited to the States. Some guys are limited to the States or only over here or Mexico. These guys are going everywhere, and everyone knows who they are. So by the time they get to the big leagues of the WWE, these guys is instant draw.
Yeah,
instant draw. I saw them once and I've been watching them ever since.
Okay.
It's been no drop off. I try not to miss as much. I don't have access to them as much as I would like to, but goodness gracious. These dudes, if...
I seen Zack Sabre Jr. take on David Starr up in New Jersey one time.
Yeah.
Man, what a phenomenal match they had. You put on a good match when the whole show is based around hardcore wrestling, and then these guys go out there and have a good wrestling match, and the fans are cheering. It's not that, you got those crowds that just want to see blood, sweat, and gore, but it was like, you could tell the appreciation that they had.
These global superstars are legit breakout stars because they're turning down WWE contracts.
That's what makes it global.
One of the
breakout star.
One of New Japan's young stars, Kota Ibushi, turned down the contract twice. He probably would have won that joint. I think they wanted to put on him instead of T.J. Perkins. I think they wanted to go with him. They wanted to go with him or Zack Sabre, another guy. Turned down contracts. Because they're like, well, I could come here and take this cruiserweight minimum, or I could go finish traveling around the world, make way more money, and work probably less dates. And then when that fizzles out, I can come. You guys are going to still want me anyway.
So now I got to ask you this question.
Okay.
If those guys sign those contracts, is the cruiserweight division still what it is, or WWE still going to limit them?
I think WWE was going to limit those guys regardless because those guys can steal any show. That's why they gave them a Cruiserweight Classic. And that's why they tried to give them their own show.
Okay.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Those matches on Raw, to me, were just to advertise the show. So they're like, listen, we're not going to sit there and let you go out here and steal the show. You're not going to put Zack Sabre Jr. in the same ring with Kota Ibushi and think you got who don't I like? You got
Roman Reigns closing the show.
You got Baron Corbin coming up
Baron
next.
Corbin. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Baron Corbin.
He instantly becomes bathroom break.
like no offense, and it's nothing against those guys. I don't like them personally, and it's nothing not. But I'm like, listen, he can't hold a candle to those guys in the ring.
Ooh.
Let's call a spade a spade.
That's fact.
You don't want that, and this is a guy you're talking a 6'7", 6'8" monster. You're trying to make him into something, and then you got these smaller guys. That's 205 live.
Well, see, I know
under.
the same thing, because you ain't the only person that feel that way.
You're not going to put if you have Neville versus Zack Sabre Jr. on your card, and that's at the middle of your card. That's supposed to be your calm down match. That's your advertised match. Listen, we got another show after this tomorrow. Watch this, and then you got. I don't even know who comes out and it's like, who wants to follow that?
Yeah.
There's a reason for it. I don't think the division will be as phony as it is today.
Okay.
And I think it's phony not because of the superstars. I think every talent that's in the cruiserweight division are phenomenal athletes and phenomenal talent. But the way they're being booked is just like, you're not letting these guys go because you're too busy worried about they're going to steal your show.
Yeah.
I've always respected Eric Bischoff in his cruiserweight division because he had such a never care. He said, look, I need you to go out there and entertain the until Holy them comes out 8 times tonight. He didn't care what they did. And that's how they got over because
he probably didn't watch.
He probably didn't. Their show probably wasn't even finished, to be honest with you. They probably in the back trying to figure out what they was going for the rest of the show. But he let them do what they wanted to do. And it was enough. The fans kept when I watched WCW Monday Nitro, I said I'm gonna watch the cruiserweights, and then in between the stuff, I was entertained by what they were doing because I knew Hogan and Sting and all those guys were going to come out at some point. Mm-hmm. But that's what WWE's cruiserweight division has not been able to capture because they don't have established stars that people already know of to help these other dudes get over. You had Neville, you had Austin Aries, but those guys have done that their entire careers. They're trying to break out when they see guys like Finn, who probably the same size, AJ Styles, not that much bigger, Daniel Bryan, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and these guys are main eventing WrestleManias and pay-per-views and Raws, and I got to sit there and wrestle between the purple ropes it's my job to get these guys over when I still got dreams of my own.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. I mean, I think that's hindered a lot of guys from being breakout stars, like Cedric Alexander. I think he's a breakout star waiting to happen, but...
Oh, okay. Well, we got one more segment before we finish this.
Is that it? This is it's like riding a bike. You just don't lose how to do certain things.
Yeah. A tag team wrestling. The Teddy Long Special, as I like to call it. Hall of Fame Teddy Long Special. Some tag teams.
I
mean, is there anybody hotter than the Young Bucks?
No.
I mean, I'm really...
There's a couple of teams that are up there, but just the Young Bucks are just on a completely different level. Mm-hmm. They have mastered the business on their own, which is not easy to do.
Right.
I mean, I've never seen any wrestling act really corner and brand themselves as great and license themselves as much as the Young Bucks. Mm-hmm. The Young Bucks are probably working, I don't know what kind of dates they're working, their Ring of Honor contracts, because they got exclusive Ring of Honor contracts, but man, did they make a ton of money on merchandise. Sheesh. And they've been ruffling a few feathers.
They got Funko Pops coming out, man.
Yeah. They got Funko Pops, they got action figures. With Figures Toy Company. Mm-hmm. They got a ton of stuff. They got keychains, they got jackets, they got shirts. Endless. I mean, whoever their design guy is, kudos to you because they make one phone call.
We can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. I mean, you make one phone call and they got a new T-shirt up the next day. So, I mean, definitely I don't think there's anybody out there hiding the young. I mean, what do you say about these guys?
I mean, these guys have been hot for so long though. Yeah. Like before,
they're only getting hotter. That's the crazy. At this point, you expect them to fizzle out and say, "Okay, now it's time to settle down. Let's go to this WWE thing. It's about some stability." No, these guys are still rising. You
remember when the Briscoes were hot years ago, and this is during the Kevin Steen run. The Briscoes were like the hottest tag team that everybody wanted to see in the WWE.
Right.
And it's like, can we just get them? And then when we saw, it was like, oh, they're not cosmetically appealing. That could have been a rumor. I mean, I never heard anybody from WWE say it, so I can't pass it off as fact.
Right.
But then we saw the Wyatt family come in. It's like, well, they got the Wyatts. Why can't they have Briscoes?
That's true. I never thought about that. That's a very good point, though.
Yeah, but now, we're not even talking about them. No offense, but... the same way people were talking about the Briscoes, the same way people are talking about the Young Bucks, Mm-hmm. I don't think people are really craving for them to be in the WWE right now, more so as they're really just always want to know what these guys are doing.
Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Did the Briscoes hurt their brand by not taking the NXT contract when he had the chance to? Because I heard they were offered a contract, but they turned it down because financially it didn't make any sense because they were making more money out of WWE than what they were offered. Did they make a mistake? Because I asked the same question about Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards.
I just think that with tag teams, be careful.
When they were hot, by the way.
Right. How far can you go? Because...
Just in general or just globally?
Globally, because think about it, right? With a single superstar, there's always somebody next coming up on the rise. Mm-hmm. How often do we see other tag teams that can keep up? It's not like you always see. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if we was to like release our whole list and bullet points,
it's a lot. This is an extensive conversation.
There's clearly going to be more in every category than it is in the tag team.
Okay.
And that's always been my thing. Like, tag team wrestling was a huge thing in like the 80s. Mm-hmm. It also had, especially in WWE, around that 90s, around SummerSlam. Remember when they had the tag team turmoil of SummerSlam 99?
Right.
But, you don't have that, hey man, we can go with any of these tag teams. So maybe they did. Maybe they should have went because it would have been something fresh. Mm-hmm. It almost felt like they did everything they could on the indies. So, but the Young Bucks, reason why it was different with them is they found a way to merchandise with crossover appeal.
Yes, they did. They branded themselves very they figured it out.
People who are not wrestling fans will wear their shirts because they just look cool.
Yeah,
and that's the difference.
Yeah, and I think that's a very key point. It's like you say, okay, how far can you go as a tag team? It's not about accomplishments because the Briscoes are almost 8 to 10 time tag champions. I mean, you can who knows how many Ring of Honor champions? Who knows how many tag titles they really accumulated? But like you said, with the Young Bucks, it goes beyond the actual wrestling of it.
Yeah.
Just the way they branded themselves, they're entertaining. So it's not about if I'm only relevant because I'm winning a tag title. I'm only relevant if I'm in the tag team picture. Like, these guys are relevant because of how they branded themselves and who they are, and like it's just making a ton of money.
Well, let's go back and look at the Legion of Doom, slash the Road Warriors.
Yeah,
the NWA, they went as long as they could, and they went to WWE, became Legion of Doom. Went back to WCW, but nobody really remembers. Came back to WWE.
I remember they went back to WCW.
LOD 2000. Yeah, and it just wasn't the same. Then you look at the Dudley Boys. Did everything they could, ECW. Came to WWE. Then eventually they split ways, came back together, went to TNA. It was, Bully Ray became probably a Hall of Fame wrestler by himself. Because you look back at, and I was listening to my buddy Terrence of Talking About Wrestling. Terrence and Sash, always give a shout out, always listening. Bully Ray was like one of the hottest heels in 2011, 2012.
He was, and I couldn't stand him.
He was. And
It
was 2012. I never thought he would be like.
I didn't think it was gonna work.
Bully Ray,
man.
Because what was that show? When they had that, what was that group name?
Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights, and that was based off of one of them shows that was hot at the time.
Was this? I want to say Sons of Anarchy.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
But just my point is, they had to break ways. The Usos, I give them credit because they found a way to reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
And that's not always easy to do. When you look at the Samoan wrestlers,
worked out for them too.
They haven't done that. The Head Shrinkers didn't do that. Alpha and Sika didn't do that. But the Usos went from this kid-friendly team. It's almost like they got attitude as their audience got older. They got older with them.
Yeah, that's very rare in the PG atmosphere of sports entertainment today, especially in the WWE.
Yeah, so
hence the term sports entertainment.
But who are some other tag teams that you really like before we close this bad boy?
My guy is War Machine.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I mean, Hanson and Rowe.
I mean, you put them over.
I mean, I was
TheRealDwayneAllen.com.
I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm this guy. I'm telling you, I remember being at a Ring of Honor show, and they were still part of, I guess, what you consider Future of Honor. Like younger guys that were.
They rebrand that thing every time.
Yeah, at the time it was
Top Prospects.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
But maybe a Future of Honor.
Because you had
that time.
Because you had Moose was coming up in it, and it was the guys that you didn't know who they were, but they began to focus on developmental. They began to highlight the development, I should say. They were highlighting the developmental guys, or guys that were new to Ring of Honor. I remember seeing Hanson, I remember seeing Rowe. And I was like, man, these guys are big and agile. And immediately they reminded me of the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much of anything they do in the ring, but just their presence.
Okay.
When the Road Warriors showed up, Legion of Doom, they had a presence about them. And they meant business. And we're talking about Hanson and Rowe, two guys that were in the top prospect tournament, together.
Yeah.
And they faced each other and decided to turn to a tag team. And in a very Sheamus and Cesaro-like fashion. To me, they did it first, where two guys that could have had a legitimate story rivalry ended up turning to probably one of the top tag teams. And I kept saying, these guys are future Ring of Honor tag team champions. And before you know it, now these guys are just, they've been finding themselves, they're trying to find their look and what they are. And now everybody goes, these guys are like giant Vikings. You know what I mean? And these guys have been, they've been in Pro Wrestling Noah, they've been in New Japan now, and they just winning titles in Ring of Honor, of course. They had a short run. And they just winning titles all around the world. Now, in singles action, they killing it. Tag team action. And I said, man, these guys, to see these guys develop and to come into their own, I said, man, I'm telling you, these guys are the one. I mean, I wrote that article, and that's, when I write, I'm not really be passionate about whatever I'm writing about, because I don't do it often.
Right.
So
you should. I mean, it's usually good stuff.
Yeah, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. Like, there's a lot of stuff I probably should write about, and I probably will as we, continue to rebrand and come back out. But I mean, I remember, like, I said, War Machine, they're going to be it. I'm trying to tell you. I said, man, Hanson and Rowe, these guys are going to be it. And to me, they are just like, they're at the top. They're up there with the Bucks. I mean, if they're not here, they're in Japan. You know, if they're not in Japan, they're in all over the place. Yeah. And I think they're doing a tremendous job. Those two tag teams, the Young Bucks.
My Ming's boys.
War Machine. The Gorillas of Destiny. Oh, my goodness. That's another one. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. I mean, like, when Camacho got cut, you know, he never really kind of fizzled out in NXT. He was the new Sin Cara's sort of his lackey or his bodyguard. Mm-hmm. And then goes to New Japan, and all of a sudden he debuts with his brother, and these guys got the SWAT vest on, the fatigues, and got the face paint like Tama Tonga already had. And I was just like, and then of course he joins the Bullet Club. I was like, oh my goodness, the Gorillas of Destiny are not no joke. I think it was a reemergence for him, and as a tag, Tama Tonga was always going to be a breakout star. To me, Tama Tonga is what I always wanted Roman Reigns to be.
Oh, okay.
Like, I never liked Roman Reigns because I wanted him to be Tama Tonga. So when I saw Tama Tonga, I was like, well, I don't need you anymore. I got this, you know what I mean? I got this, this Tongan brother.
And for the record, you still don't like Roman?
I'm okay with Roman. Okay. I don't like Roman being shoved down my face like he's the guy. If you're going to make him the guy, can it be natural? Don't just, okay, no, we're going to keep everybody down, have him beat everybody because he's the guy now.
You so didn't grow up in the Hogan era.
No, I did. I just didn't care about Hogan.
No, but you were, you know, I mean, 2-year difference, but that's quite 2 years. You're more Sean Brett, where I was Hogan Macho.
When I was that young, wrestling wasn't that serious to me. Right. It was just something that was on television. To me, that was the norm.
My daughter has, you know, the Hulk Hogan toy I have?
Yes.
My mother was like, she was trying to like bring it home.
That's what the world does not need. Another war obsessed. His whole family is obsessed with Hulk Hogan. I'm stepping in the middle. Like, at some point, if you have any type of wrestling conversation, Hogan's gonna get brought up. Like, can we? There's so much more to talk about.
It started with my mother.
No. Well, I'm gonna tell Ma that she's no. I swear, if you talk to anybody's family, it doesn't matter what. You can talk about Austin or something. Well, y'all remember when Stone Cold had fought Macho Man? Like, why can't we talk about Macho Man by himself? It doesn't matter. Even as the baby girl, she all of a sudden now she.
I was surprised. I was like,
she didn't stand a chance. Man. Y'all keep watching. It's wrong with your family. Your family, y'all purposely get these women pregnant and have them watch wrestling on purpose. It's like, you can't go anywhere. Kick your feet up. You might as well let me put something on TV. And it's wrestling.
It's not my fault. It gets entertaining. Like,
it is your fault. It's in your genes. Well, look, you passed the genes down.
But look, you gotta remember when my wife was pregnant with Ariana, what happened? We saw the murders of Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
She's going to watch that. We're talking Paul Heyman's DVD just came out.
Hey, well, yeah. I mean, I guess you didn't have a choice, but that's. I mean,
and see, she had a remote. My mother didn't have a remote.
She couldn't go anywhere.
You know, she had a remote. She could, you know.
But yeah, I mean, that's why I feel the way I feel about Reigns. But you know, his relatives, you know, the Gorillas of Destiny, you know,
I just want to see them all like, come together one time.
And trust me,
like the Hart Foundation.
If I ever see a picture of, here we go, you ready to break it down?
Mm-hmm.
Gorillas of Destiny.
Uh-huh.
Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa. Roman Reigns.
Uh-huh.
The Usos.
Mm-hmm.
Nia Jax. Tamina.
Mm-hmm.
There's another brother in NXT. I can't remember his name.
Right.
He's part of their family too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see him that often, but he's a developmental guy. He's there too. And then you got a couple of other guys like Lance Anoa'i. Lance is going to come up.
Alpha Jr.
Yeah,
he's been there, but he's still
trucking.
He's still hitting the surface hard.
Yeah, he's still rocking and rolling. You know,
mm-hmm.
Then we talk about guys that you may not be familiar with, but they all related, some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Can you imagine all of them in one ring? No headbutts, concussions everywhere. Goodness gracious! No headbutts, no kicks to the face because you know they got feet like stone. They walk barefoot, nothing.
Hey, you know, science tells you that's how you're supposed to really walk outside. No shoes on, and you're supposed to absorb the naturalness of the earth.
I mean, that would make sense.
That's what I've been doing, you know, since these time. I've been getting
educating yourself.
Educating.
You sound very knowledgeable about these types of things.
Hey, man, social media and science. That's what I do every day.
Well,
I say this was a good show.
Yeah, I think
we're back.
I think we did some educating.
Yeah,
some educating, some highlighting, some added some things here and there.
Yep.
Plenty more to come. So this is fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't noticed, we enjoy what we do. We're back, and we're bringing you along for the ride. Let's have fun.
Absolutely.
You know, we're wrestling fans, and wrestling is on, and I gotta say it because Cody Rhodes said it, and it made so much sense. Mm-hmm. Wrestling is getting ready to go through this big boom period, and it's not like you was just saying, I mean, you said it multiple times, it made so much sense. It's not so much that we're going to be in for another ratings war, but we have a different levels of access that we can access so much. As Jamie Foxx said, I got options. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. You know, like I said, I would go to, you know, I mean, of course I got the WWE Network. Hey, that wasn't even out back then. We was relying on DVDs last time we was doing this thing.
I told you. See, that's the difference. It's been 7 or 8 years, and look at the difference. Yeah. So it's just.
So, you know, let's get ready. Final thoughts.
2015 to me was probably one of the best years of independent wrestling. Mm-hmm. 2014-15 because this is before the Triple H era. Yeah. And you saw a lot of the guys that you saw in 2015 are now in WWE and Ring of Honor and around the world globally. I believe 2018 may be on a similar level, especially if we're looking at Neville and we don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Bryan at this point. My man just got beat up on television not too long ago. I'm assuming they're writing him off television. I'm assuming it's going to be a negotiation, and then we're going to see where it goes from there. Yeah. But I think 2018.
He's still on Total Bellas, and I'm pretty sure they got a nice hefty contract. What that got to do with WWE? I don't know. I just feel.
I didn't think about that.
There's another WWE Championship run that's got Daniel Bryan's name on it.
I think 2018 is going to be an interesting year for professional wrestling, sports entertainment, local superstars around the world. I think we had plenty to talk about. I mean, we picked a pretty good time to come back. There's so much to get into. So.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's the real Dwayne Allen. You can follow him at Dwayne Allen 24. I'm Brian H. Waters. As you can see, just throw an @ sign at the beginning and follow me everywhere. So long, folks.
Peace.
Whoop. Too sweet.
Mr. Brian Waters.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!